On today's Fit to Eat, I'll be preparing blackened turkey breast with cilantro cream sauce and a delicious Swiss chard salad with turnips and mushrooms. Rebecca Turner will be our guest, and she's got a quick and easy recipe for homemade tomato sauce that you're going to want to try. It's going to be a great show, so stay tuned. Welcome to Fit to Eat. I'm your host, Rob Stinson. Today, we have registered dietitian Rebecca Turner here to help me out. Welcome back, Rebecca.
It's good to be back.
I swear. Well, we're going to have a really good one today, and I'll tell you why. People need to learn to eat healthier, obviously, but they want flavor. So what we're going to do is blacken without salt fresh turkey. So what we're going to end up doing is making a delicious fat-free cilantro cream that I think will complement it perfectly, but then kind of put it together with some incredible Swiss chard.
Well, it looks beautiful.
I know, isn't it great? Look at all the colors. So, all right, the first thing we do is actually go through the ingredients. I don't know, and I know you know. I don't know if everyone out there knows, but let me tell you, blackened seasoning when you buy it in the store is about 65% salt. It's horrible.
Most people don't realize that.
Nope. So here we're going to make our own. All right, onion powder and garlic powder, which have no salt.
And it's important to reduce the salt in your overall diet because that helps to reduce your risk for high blood pressure, which is a silent killer and the #1 killer.
Let me tell you, I know, and I've lived it, and I'm doing it, and I'm so much better off not eating salt. Now, paprika, so onion, garlic, some Italian seasoning.
And this is something you would mix up at home in a big sort of container.
Oh, absolutely.
And then you can keep it.
I keep it in a Ziploc bag, you know, just a regular, you know, generic. So sage and thyme, Italian seasoning, black pepper, and then to give it the pep, a little cayenne.
Just a little. Now, could you omit that if you absolutely
absolutely. If somebody really doesn't like to eat spicy food, then that's probably a good idea not to have it. But what we've done, I have that pan pretty hot. Would you turn the flame up on high?
Sure.
We're going to mix this blackened seasoning really well. Just stir it all together so it's evenly distributed. And then we're really just cooking one of these turkey breasts. I put 2 pretty ones out there. And I tell you, it's so different than ground turkey, which has loads of fat. You know that, huh?
Well, that's to help it give it moisture.
Yep. All we do is just literally pat it on both sides.
Well, that looks easy enough.
Anybody can do this.
Well, this is a good switch because oftentimes we kind of get overused chicken, right, when we're trying to be healthy, and you can get bored with it. So this is a great lean meat to sort of switch up.
That was about a ½ teaspoon of oil, so you want to do it lightly. Your pan is good and hot. We're going to keep that seasoning down below. Move the other turkey breast out of the way.
I love to hear the sizzle. You can really start to smell it.
Isn't it great?
Yeah.
And that's the one thing you can't get on TV, huh? I love the aroma.
Smell-o-vision?
I know, no smell-o-vision yet. It's probably coming, though. I bet you it is. But what I try to do when you first put it in the pan is don't move it, and that'll keep it from losing the coating. So this is such a great, healthy thing for families.
Now, can you find that in just about any grocery store?
Every superstore has it.
So is it just where the typical meat section would be, or do you need to ask the butcher?
No, it's actually right there, and you'd find it right by the chicken, you know? So, I mean, one thing that I love is that it's gotten to be much more common to have.
To find in your grocery stores?
Yeah, because there was a point in time where it was difficult to find.
Oh, yes, or you had to ask your butcher to slice it up for you, or it was just had to go that extra step. But it's definitely a meat other than chicken.
And what's really nice, you can take that same seasoning and use it, like you said, on pork, chicken. You know,
what about
if you're
seafood?
Incredible on seafood, incredible. I mean, on fresh grouper, on shrimp, on any other product, it is just that good. And I mean, look at that. That's how simple it is. And it really doesn't take long to cook, but the key is you want to let it sear at high temperature. Now, here's the problem, and I laugh about this. You got to be careful in your kitchen when you put oil in something that hot in it.
Because it pops.
Yeah, it pops in the smoke too. A little bit of smoke. So make sure you've got it under your hood in your kitchen, or you could even do this on a char grill outside where you get the pan really hot.
Okay.
You know, oftentimes I cook outside just to keep the temperature down inside, you know.
Oh, because of the smoke, and you don't want to set off the alarms, and then your family thinks you've done it
then
again.
you know, you got that broomstick and you're trying to hit the little button up on that smoke alarm. I've heard tales about you, actually. But anyhow, no, it's really a fun way to cook, and now let's take it.
I was going to ask, when do you know when it's ready to flip?
You see how it's white around the edge?
Uh-huh.
That's exactly when. Look at that.
Oh, that's so pretty.
Oh, it looks so good.
That's like good blackened, not my blackened.
Well, and you know what? I defy anybody to tell me it doesn't have flavor, and without the salt, it's so healthy for you.
Right, it definitely helps you reduce your risk for high blood pressure. And people don't realize that you can flavor with so many different spices. You don't have to have the salt.
I know, and I think that's really the key. You know, I've become really fond of using like the powders, onion and garlic. They're 100% natural. They have no salt. Don't confuse that, you out there, with granulated garlic.
Right.
Granulated garlic is 50% salt, so you definitely don't want to use that instead. But I think the neat part about this is it really works well.
Well, this seems so easy. I mean, just in the time that you've done this, this is something a mom or caregiver could easily do for a kid, and I can already tell my daughter would enjoy this.
Yep, now what we'll do is turn that heat down just a little bit. Want to be sure it's cooked all the way through, but look how thin that is too. That's what's nice, is the way they're cutting it.
And so much, that's good for portion control. You know, when you have those big, thick pork chops or even cuts of meat, it just usually ends up being 2 to 3 servings in one.
All right, well, I tell you what, if you're interested in any of these recipes, do not forget to go to mpbonline.org/fit-to-eat or join the MPB Facebook page. We've actually turned the heat off altogether.
Okay.
So now it's actually just finishing, and it's what they call resting at this point.
Oh, it's resting.
It keeps the juices inside without over drying it.
So do you not use a thermometer to check your temperature? Or do you not have to with a thin piece?
With a thin piece, you really don't need to.
Okay.
You know, and I mean, I think it comes out so good. So this is going to be the beginning. Now, like I said, though, a lot of people may say turkey is just so dry. That's just natural. That's the way it comes out when you have a great fat-free piece of, you know, food. So the sauce that we're going to make next is a really simple one.
I'm interested in this because I love sauces, and kids love to dip things. So anytime you can give a kid something to dip something healthy in, usually you're more likely to get them to eat it.
Yeah, and you know what's fun about this one is it's fresh herbs. It doesn't have to be cilantro. It could be basil. It could be oregano. It could be something else. But it actually is a very simple dish to make. We're going to warm it in a pan with a little bit of skim milk, fat-free sour cream.
Oh, so it's a warm sauce.
Yeah, and we're going to actually do that just to get the flavors to blend together well.
Okay. I don't think I've ever done that.
It's a really good one. I love it. I love it. But anyhow, I think this is what makes this show so much fun. We want things that you out there can do at home so that you know we're not just showing you something that's too fancy or frilly that you can't do. This is easy. This
was super easy, yes. And if I can do it and pass my test, then I know anybody in Mississippi can do it.
All right. Well, listen, we're going to take a break and let Rebecca go to her studio set. She's got a quick and easy recipe for homemade tomato sauce. And when I come back, I'll be finishing up this incredible meal with our blackened turkey breast.
Added sugar, sodium, and preservatives. Ingredients you don't think about when picking up a convenient jar of tomato sauce. But it's true, jarred tomato sauce is often loaded with added sugar, packed with salt and other additives that keep it shelf stable. Quick, easy, and inexpensive, terms you don't think about when contemplating making homemade tomato sauce. But it's true, in as little as 10 minutes, you can create a tomato sauce from scratch that's full of flavor and nutrition without the unnecessary additives. I bet you probably have most of the ingredients, if not all of them, already in your pantry. The star of this homemade pantry meal is canned tomatoes. Now, just like their fresh counterparts, canned tomatoes are full of vitamin C, low in calories, and high in lycopene, which actually helps protect your skin from the sun's damaging UV rays. But make sure you purchase the low sodium or the no salt added varieties for better heart health. To make your sauce, you're going to saute some onions, garlic, and a carrot in a pot over about medium heat. Now, adding a shredded carrot to the saute will provide the sweetness without having to add the sugar. I want you to remember that trick for any recipe. Then add canned tomatoes, tomato paste, and spices like thyme, basil, oregano, bay leaves, and a little salt and pepper. Just bring it all to a boil before you reduce it to a simmer. You simmer it for about 10 minutes, which will create a thin sauce. But the longer you let the sauce simmer, the thicker it will get. Once it's at your preferred consistency, you'll just serve it over zucchini noodles, spaghetti squash, or whole wheat pasta for a superior homemade meal that is truly fit to eat.
Thanks, Rebecca. I love how you inspire people to make great food out of what they have in their own home. That's special.
Well, it's super simple usually when you use your pantry to get a healthy meal on the table within minutes and at low cost. You probably already have a dinner in your pantry and don't even realize it. Rice plus beans is a complete meal. Throw in some good canned vegetables as long as you're choosing those lower sodium options, and you really can have a meal that's fit to eat in literally minutes.
I know, and inexpensive, you know?
And easy to prepare as well.
All right, so what we're going to do now is kind of work on this different dipping sauce, if you would, for the turkey.
Right, and it's going to be warm, right?
It is, but you can actually warm this, get it to bond together, and then put it in the fridge and hold it. And that way you can have it there when the kids want it.
And you can use it for many other things other than just this turkey, right?
Man, I dip carrots in it, asparagus in it, celery in it. I keep all that in a container in my fridge.
I'm telling you, the trick to getting kids to eat vegetables is just having the right thing for them to dunk it in.
I swear. And it doesn't have to be ranch dressing.
Well, prove it to me.
All right. So what we're going to do first is take a beautiful fresh herb like cilantro. I mean, it's something you can get in any store, right? It could be basil. It could be oregano, but I find that cilantro is something a lot of kids like. So we're going to actually take some of this, chop it up coarse, and then I'm going to try and show people just an easy, simple trick. So when it's this way, it's awfully leafy. All they really have to do, and if you have a knife and you take your time, and you literally, and can you smell that?
I was just going to say cilantro is one, when you start to cut it, it just opens up its aroma for
and
you.
And it really doesn't take long, as you can see.
To get it small?
To get it small enough where there's not a big, huge bite. What I find is kids do not like when they get one big, overpowering flavor.
Or one big something they can pull out of their mouth within the middle of it.
Yeah. And
even though it's fine, it's just nice to have your herbs and spices.
Well, and this is actually really not hard to do. So I just wanted to take the time, we have really never done this on Fit to Eat, and show how simple it is. Look at how fine that's actually getting now.
It took no time.
I mean, I think that makes all the difference in the world. And this is going to go into the sauce at the very end. So let's pull it aside. And it doesn't matter that anything mixes on this board right now, because this is all just raw veggies. So we're going to take what would be, what I would think, you know, people would say, gee, those are chopped onions. In this sauce, if a child gets a big bite of onion, it's done.
I agree.
So what we're going to do is exactly the same thing with the onions.
Now, do you have to use the red onion, or could you
No, you could use yellow, white, whatever you have.
Now, the red is pretty.
I like the color contrast, you know. I'm always about the color. And it's so simple when you look at this, and then I just take like a little spoon or something, move it off the edge of the knife, put it back in the center. And I mean, really, I know it seems like knife class 101, but I'm amazed when people think, well, gee, there's no way to really do that. They may not have a food processor. And the other thing is they may not want to get a food processor dirty just to cut a little bit of onion, you know?
They do make those small ones, though, that you can put it in and you beat on the top and it processes them down. One of my best wedding gifts.
Oh, that, yeah, you like that, huh? That's great. All right, so basically we're pretty much set there. What I'm going to do now that it's fine like this, and I hate to say this, but you know, a cleaver is my favorite tool because you can actually use it to move food. We're going to take that, put it into a pan. We're going to add just a touch of oil, okay? Not even a half a teaspoon, just a tiny touch.
That just keeps it from not sticking as well as giving it a little bit of flavor, right?
And then turn the heat on this one. This one, you purposely didn't want your pan scalding hot.
Okay.
Okay, because we're going to add in the sour cream, and
Ooh,
once
that
we
would have
do,
scorched it, right?
Yep. Now we've got a little bit of garlic powder.
No salt. Not
No
garlic
salt. That's right. I tell you what, you're on top of it.
I'm catching on to your tricks.
Unbelievable. Little onion powder. Again, it's my favorite little blend. And then some black pepper. So now you've got a really nice basis. And if you would take that spoon, you could move that around in there for me if you don't mind.
Just mix it all together.
Yeah, we're just going to kind of get that blended a little bit better.
Now, are you trying to sort of cook the onions down
Just
a little bit?
Just a little bit. Just to get the flavors to blend together. This isn't like you're really sauteing them to cook them, but it makes it really kind of flavorful, and it goes into what we're going to add, which this is the one that is going to kill people. The sauce is really made with skim milk. You know, everybody thinks it's got to be cream to be good. It doesn't.
No, and they even make a fat-free half and half.
That's right. That's right. And I tell you what, now you can actually get that aroma coming out as well. All right, so I think we're at a point now, what we're going to do is add in that skim milk, a little bit at a time. And you can see that pan has gotten hot.
And you know, with skim milk, it has all the same nutrients as regular milk.
Now, you might want to turn that heat down just a little bit. I'm going to add the rest of this. Okay.
Just none of the fat. So when you're at home and you're choosing a...
Let's turn that off altogether. I think we're going to have enough temperature that we don't need it. Now we're going to take that finely chopped cilantro that we did. I love this. This is like one of my absolute favorite sauces because it's got so much flavor, and it'll add something for that turkey, you know, that we were talking about. You know, you don't want it to be too dry.
So this is just going to add a lot of moisture on the top and flavor.
Okay, and now with the heat off, you've got the flavor all blended together. We're going to actually mix in the fat-free sour cream. And if you'll just keep stirring that together.
Do that.
Tell you what, you know, and the neat part about this, there's so many different avenues you can go to make nice sauces so that your children at home can find flavorful food without eating something that's really unhealthy.
I totally agree. Sauces can be one of the tricks to getting your families eating a lot of things new. And just dressing up the old sort of thing, even a chicken breast or a turkey breast, just a simple sauce can change a meal.
You know, this adding in fresh cilantro, and then the next phase of where we're going, look at that. Tell me that's not gorgeous, huh?
That is pretty.
Beautiful Swiss
It's
chard.
chard.
And they actually call this rainbow.
Is it chard or chard?
Chard.
Chard.
Chard. Chard.
Tomato? Okay. There you go.
Tomato.
I thought I was having it wrong.
No, it can be said either way. But I think what's really unique about this dish is that you've got all this healthy food going in. And to get children to eat turnips, the turnip root is so good for you. I mean, I love it. I love mushrooms. So what I try to do is get them to branch out and try some different things. And the sauce
helps do that.
Exactly.
And the turnip kind of looks intimidating. So how are we going to do that to make it a little less?
I tell you what. All we're going to do on this, and I can even show you right now. We'll do it, since we're having fun with the knife.
I need to give you one of these knives.
You literally are just going to slice it thin, just like so. And I mean, that's a snack. I love eating them. I love eating them just that way. But we're going to actually sear these, cook them, and then add that into a whole unique salad that'll be the base of the turkey and the sauce. So you've got kind of a bunch of different flavors that are going to come together on this. And I think that's what's important,
and a bunch of different vegetables. So anytime that you can have multiple colors on your plate, you're going to get in nutrition because each color brings in its own sort of army of nutrients that the other one doesn't.
Absolutely. Well, listen, we're going to take a short break. And when we come back, I'll be tossing together the Swiss chard salad. So stay tuned.
They make pretty little ribbons of collard greens. Well, as a primary care provider, you know, a large portion of the patients that I see have problems with weight and then problems with blood pressure and diabetes. And so you know, when you're really looking at the root cause of a lot of these disorders, it's what we're eating and the fact that we're not moving around as much as we should. So we've got two kind of cohorts of folks that we've opened our program to. My clinic that I'm part of operates in the Midtown community of Jackson. And so when we first started the kitchen, that's who we targeted. And then more recently, we opened it up to UMC employees as well. UMC has been pushing hard to be a healthier workplace. And so one of the things that employees voiced that they wanted was healthy eating information and healthy cooking techniques. So we invited them in. So we've got about a half and half mix of UMC employees and Midtown residents that are here. So we teach basic fundamental nutrition, so how you make a balanced plate, why you pick whole grains over refined grains, the difference between starchy vegetables and non-starchy vegetables, and then lean proteins. And then we teach cooking techniques that are not going to add in extra fat, extra sugar, and extra salt, because those are the things that are linked to high blood pressure and diabetes. All of our recipes are written to feed a family of 4 for around $10 and to be done in under an hour. So, you know, a lot of times people think healthy foods has to cost a lot and it has to take a long time to prepare, and it's really not. They're really quick, easy, and inexpensive. I have patients who are telling me that their blood pressure is better, their blood sugar is better. So people are definitely doing better, but what I like to hear is that they're just making better choices. Even if the numbers aren't showing it yet, when they tell me that they're making these foods for their family and that their kids are eating them and loving them and asking about, you know, can I have more of that? And it's just full of fresh fruits and vegetables. That's what, you know, makes me happy to see people making better choices. I would love to see this go all across the state. So, you know, like I said, I'm from the Delta. I would love to take it back home and help folks up there learn how to do these things as well, and, you know, just keep going, be self-sustaining, and have them all across the state.
All right, welcome back. I tell you what, we're going to put the salad together. We're going to plate this dish. If you would do me one favor and take that delicious sauce, put it in there, and I am going to actually start this pan to move things around just a little bit, which is good and hot. It's one of the main things I tell people at home. I'm going to slide this out of the way and move the big pan so we can get right together on this one. All right, it's on high. We're going to put about a teaspoonful of oil in here, and you can see that pan's good and hot, huh?
And it's important for it to be hot, right?
Absolutely. All right, you ready?
Yes. Sizzle!
Turnip root. Delicious, crunchy, flavorful. Garlic. Onion. And if you'll just stir those around a little bit while I'm tossing everything else in. And mushroom.
Mushroom.
And look how hearty that is. That's a lot of veggies.
So you said salad, so this is a warm salad, right?
I love warm salads, you know, I really do. Little bit of black pepper all around.
If you're not a salad eater or a raw salad eater, this is an easy way to sort of ease into enjoying salad.
Absolutely. Some coriander. Give us some neat flavor. My two favorites, onion and garlic. Little powder, just to add more flavor. And some Italian seasoning.
No salt.
No salt. Doesn't need it.
No salt, Rob.
Yeah, I know. That's going to be my new nickname, I'm afraid, huh? Mm-hmm. All right, I'm gonna put a little water in there to help steam those veggies. And then if you step back for 1 second, here we go. You ready? Here's the fun part. And I promise, anybody at home can do this. We're going to throw that Swiss chard right on top.
Oh, so you didn't cut it up?
I did. I left it in big pieces so it's kind of hearty. Because it's going to be the fundamental, the basis of our dish. All right, now we're going to get it a wee bit drunk.
Yes.
Just a little bit of wine. And everybody gets a little scared when they see that. But they don't understand that the alcohol totally cooks out.
And you're just left with the flavor.
Yep, and it enhances the flavor. And you really don't have to do much more than that, believe it or not. I like to keep the Swiss chard crunchy, and that keeps all the nutrients in it as well. Look at how simple that was, huh?
That is, and you probably aren't used to buying Swiss chard for this purpose, so it gives you an option to go to your farmer's market or maybe go to the produce section and get something new.
Absolutely. Now we'll do another couple of turns, and look at that.
Fancy.
Isn't that neat, though?
That really was simple, though. I mean, it literally took us less than a couple of minutes, and this thing was ready.
And what I love about it is the crunchiness of the vegetables kind of give you that flavor, like you're thinking, gee, I wanted French fries, but I can't eat them, you know?
Or you shouldn't eat them.
You shouldn't eat them. You know, you don't
Often.
need anything that's that fattening. Now we're going to toss a little bit, just to finish, of that fresh chopped cilantro, which we put into the sauce as well, so it kind of brings the continuity of the dish.
And this is something, Rob, could you make a big portion and then maybe take it for lunch the next day?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, you're going to see, this is a lot of food.
No, I mean, I could eat all that at once, but
All right, let's see it. You ready?
yeah.
Going to put it all across this half of the plate. And if you'll grab that turkey breast pan, going to take that, put it right here, add our sauce, and guess what?
Do I get to do
You
the
get to
honors?
try a bite.
All right. Oh, it cuts so easy.
All right, so I want to see what your thoughts are on this.
Let me see. I want to try some of the sauce.
Yeah, I know, huh? And it's hot. It's hot. Be careful. I didn't even think about that. But you know, one of the nice things, is that not unique? Mm-hmm. And the idea of it is the turkey is a little dry, the sauce gives it the flavor, but now you've got the crunch, the color, the veggies. You got such a healthy meal there. It's really not as much a salad to me as healthy cooked greens.
It's almost like a stir fry with greens. And you
Exactly.
didn't have to put it over rice. But you know that turkey is not nearly as dry as you are making it out to
I know.
be. So it is actually a pretty moist piece of meat. And then the sauce is just the bomb.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Because you know what? I want to prove that you can eat healthy, get lots of flavor, and look at the volume of food you're eating, but you only had a 4 to 5 ounce piece of turkey. I'd like to thank our guest, Rebecca Turner. Chef Rob Stinson here. Eat well.